Let's see how we can use tools like med.com to automate your content creation process. Welcome, I'm Fred, and it's the ninth episode of the Content Creator Weekly Show. So let's get started. Welcome. I'm super happy to co-host this show with Cyril Coste. How are you today, Cyril?
I'm very well, Frederic. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Cyril, this week we've got an important topic for content creation: automation. Could you give us a short sneak peek about what we are going to learn this week?
Yes. So we are going basically to automate some content creation through made.com and something super easy that everybody can do today. Okay. So we're just going to copy a URL, process it via ChatGPT, and summarize the content, create a couple of posts, and put the outcome in a Google Doc document. So something super easy. You just have to copy URLs in a Google spreadsheet and wait, and automatically your content will be generated overnight or whenever you're ready to do it. No need to go back to ChatGPT or using the API. It's done for you.
Fantastic, really, really interesting. But before diving into automation process, I'd like to have your feedback on Italy announcement about ChatGPT. Maybe you're not familiar with, but this week the Italian government said that they decided to ban ChatGPT from Italy. I'm very surprised about that because there is no discussion. There is an automatic ban. So what's your feeling about that?
So the ban is not based on the technology. It's not based on uh, artificial intelligence. The ban is based on GDPR uh, rules, which have been broken apparently. So, GDPR, if you're not very familiar, for people outside Europe, is the regulations, the EU regulations that apply to any individuals or companies who handle data about EU citizens or companies. That's to say, wherever you are in the world, if you have one line in a database about a EU citizen, you must follow GDPR regulation or you are in breach of these regulations. So it's very complex because, uh, uh, indirectly, more or less every companies who does international business is impacted by this. And what happened is
And
that on the
UE
20th
is
of
very
March,
strict. UE is very strict on GDPR, by the way.
EU is very strict. It's the strictest regulation in the world and has set up the tone for Massachusetts and California regulations, and more states are following this. Um, we and what happened is that on the 20th of March, there's been a breach in on ChatGPT, and some users were able to see others users uh, content, prompts, etc. We don't really know what the extent yet of what it was, if it was a glitch or a cyber attack. Uh, OpenAI hasn't been very open on this issue. And so basically, the Italian regulator decided to a blanket ban on ChatGPT, which is very, very strange. I think they were just looking for an excuse, honestly, to go at them. Um, it's said that
Yes.
maybe France will follow, Spain also.
Uh,
Uh,
I see Germany could also ban
mhm.
ChatGPT. But what is very surprising, because if it's a question of data leaks, a lot of company have also have to face some data leaks, and their services are not banned from any countries. In the case of ChatGPT, you it sounds like just an excuse, in fact, to ban the services. And by the way, it's it's just a little bit strange because I tested by myself. If you use, for instance, a VPN and you are localized in Italy, for sure you can not use the services. But if you localize yourself in France, in Denmark, in wherever you want, you can use ChatGPT.
Mm.
So it's not it's not really working at the end because people who are using
No,
ChatGPT are very familiar with
okay.
VPN and something like that.
The ban is for GPT to serve Italian customers. The ban is not Italian customers to not use ChatGPT. You see, it's not reciprocal.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
okay. So that's okay. After, if Italian consumers, of course, and developers use VPNs or used informations from other EU countries, that's it. But yeah, let's follow this and see how it's going
Yeah.
to evolve. But I'm sure there are a lot of discussions in Brussels about how to make ChatGPT compliant and have insurance about what is happening with um, the data. And it's not, it's all the data that are being produced. If they contain personal information, what is going to happen to them? I think it's also something that is in the back of the mind of the regulator.
And I think also the problem is you say it's about the data, but regarding ChatGPT, one criticism we heard a lot is about the origin of the data ChatGPT used to train the AI and something else. But if I'm correct, and tell me if I'm wrong, uh, uh, we've got public pages from OpenAI that explain their strategy and the origin of the data. For sure, we have to trust them or not, but we have also this information.
Yeah, absolutely, you're absolutely right. OpenAI is very transparent about which data they've used, and everything is listed. So, but to, to to explain roughly, this is a copy of Wikipedia, and they train the model on Wikipedia. And in Wikipedia, everything is referenced, you know, mainly via a hyperlink to website or to data which are available online. So basically, all this data forms a data set that has been used to train ChatGPT on uh, the other models. So there is no like secret, it's very open. And if even better, if you don't trust Wikipedia, you can build your own model. OpenAI allows you to fine tune your own model. Of course, you will have to pay quite a lot, to train the model, but you can do it. I did it with my tweets, for example. I created my maybe we can cover that in a session soon. But I fine tuned um, OpenAI with my tweets, so that basically it can generate tweets that sound like me. Uh, it's not that successful, to be fair, but it was super excited to do it.
Okay, so we have to follow this regulation on ChatGPT, and we will keep you updated with the latest news on that part. But now I want that we are coming back to our main topics, automation. Last week and during two episodes, we show you how to create an amazing framework for your content creation process. We introduce you a lot of tools, and maybe some of you could be afraid of that, say, oh, a lot of tools mean a lot of time. You have to learn how to use it. They always have a learning curve using a new tools, and also you have to spend more time on each one, and it could be really time consuming. So yes, the framework could be powerful, but on the other end, it could be really time consuming. That's why we will introduce you this week automation. And to do that, we select one tools. You are using it, Cyril, by the way. It's make.com. It's not the only tools you can make automation. For instance, you can use Zapier or other, but make.com is really interesting if you want to build strong scenario at the end. So how to start when you want to put some automation in your content creation process, Cyril?
So I think the first step is, what I'm going to automate. Okay, that's probably the first question that anybody need to ask. And the easiest way is take your your agenda, your timetable, a week of work, and see, okay, what I spend the most time to do during the week. Okay, so let's say that you are currently a copywriter or a ghostwriter, and for an agency or for a large corporation, and a part of your work is to summarize articles created by the company or your clients and create tweets and LinkedIn posts to publish, to promote after the content that your company or your clients are producing. And so you can imagine every time, you have to go through the article, summarize the article, create a tweet, create a LinkedIn post, find the hashtags, find the mentions, find emojis potentially. So, it's very repetitive work. It's not very creative.
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily what your client wants you to spend more time. So, if you have to, let's say, do 10 of that per day, that's 50 per week. So, and if you spend, let's say, about half an hour per article in terms of summary and post creation, etc., and you do 10 a day, that's 5 hours a day, that's 25 hours per week. So can we transform 25 hours of work per week in 10 minutes? Let's see if we can, but possibly.
Sounds fantastic if we can. Sounds fantastic if we can. Definitely, a lot of people need to see how to do that. So maybe we can now show a concrete example of how to do this.
Mhm.
Are we okay
So
with that?
yeah, so I decided, to use very simple tools that everybody knows. Okay, so make.com, as you mentioned, is the automation tool. You can use Zapier, you can use Exomatic, you can use RoboMotion. There are tons of them available on the market. They have a free plan, like most of the tools. Okay, so start with that. Have fun with it. It's great. Um, they will have limitation at some point, but for scenarios, it's perfectly fine. So you just create an account on make.com. You just need to enter an email and a password, and you're in it. And also to capture the URL, I decided to use Google Sheets. And for the output of the process, I will just write everything down in a Google Doc document. So pretty sure everybody has a kind of Gmail account or something like this. Just create a Google Doc and a Google Sheet with your accounts, and in the Google Sheets we will just enter the URLs, and the Google Doc we will receive the response. So 4 tools in total, okay? Because the fourth tool is ChatGPT. You will need an account with ChatGPT. So either we use the API or ChatGPT.
You mean a paying account for ChatGPT? You mean a paying account?
Yes, but even the paying account, you can have one. If you just open it, the first you have a credit of $18 for 3 months, for the first 3 months, so for free. So you can even test, with what we are doing for free for the first 3 months until you've used all your credit. And after, anyway, it will just be a couple of cents every time you're going to do this. Compared to the time you are going to save, is peanuts. So 4 tools: make.com, ChatGPT or Open or GPT API, Google Doc, and Google Sheets. Okay.
Okay, so now we've got all these tools,
All these tools.
can you show us how to make them work? If make them, if they've got a great name,
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
them work
So
together at the end.
okay. So one thing that I want to mention before I start with the scenarios, okay, is uh, when you have your OpenAI account, you will need to access your API keys and organization key. Okay. I've already done that in the background. I will show you in the presentation that we are putting together how to do it. I don't do it live because these are live API keys, so I don't want people to copy and paste them in their and use my credits. So everything will be detailed, these types, in the presentation. And what people need to do, Fred, again, to get to the presentation?
In fact, if you want to have this presentation and if you want to have the chips of Cyril to make this automation, the only thing you have to do is to DM us, Cyril or I, on LinkedIn or on Twitter, and we send us your mail address, and we will send you this complete presentation. So don't be shy. Just send us a DM with your mail address and say that you want this presentation. We will be more than happy to send you for free.
Thank you, Fred. So let's start. So um, this is basically the automation creation part of make.com. So every automation is called a scenario. So I've just clicked on create a scenario. We are going to give a name of it. So my first scenario, haha. Let's be original
Very
here.
original.
Yeah. And we are going to click on the big plus, basically, because this is what we are invited to do. And these are all what they call modules. So modules is each step, if you want, for your automation. So I'm pretty sure that anything you are going to use have already the module uh, in make.com. So the first module we are
So
going to
Cyril,
use is,
my question is
yeah,
just the limit, in fact, of make.com is only the number of modules they integrated, because you are not able to create your own modules. You have to use the
uh,
modules they have already integrated.
well, that's a very advanced topic, Fred. Uh, but yes, you can by creating web hooks. If your tool is not listed there, you have some bypass, but that's a very advanced topic. But for today, all the modules currently exist, thankfully. Have I answered your question?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
see, so we just need to search basically Google Sheets. So this is where we are going to collect the URL to be sent to ChatGPT. And what we are going to do is basically the trigger is going to collect new informations appearing in new rows. Okay. So once again, if I just do it, we are just going to collect, I'm going to delete it. Hopla, delete module. I'm going to add it, Google Sheets. And it's the first one. So basically, we need to start the automation with something specific. So it can be, in this case, watch for new rows. We are going to see the scheduling after that, or if there is any change. Um, what you are going to choose later in terms of automation has an impact on the cost, but not for now. Okay. So we are just going to watch for new rows. So the first thing you will need to do is to set up your connection if it hasn't been done. I will explain in the presentation that you can, that I will send you if you DM myself or Fred, how to create your connection is super simple. Basically, you just push a button and it connects with your Gmail account or your Google Workplace account. Super easy. Then we need to select which spreadsheet is going to be used. So we click here to choose a file, and it's going to be the one that I created here, which is WL009 URL. So this is how you choose the file, the spreadsheet that you are going to use in order to trigger the automation. Is going to be sheet 1. So this is this information here. You can rename it as you want, but don't forget to change it back after in make.com. I'm not going to use headers, and this is just an information just basically in terms of which columns does make.com needs to look at in terms of information. Limit, it's how many rows are going to be processed at every time there are new information. Let's stay at 2, but you can increase as much as you want. Personally, I between 2 and 5, I prefer to have something slow over a long period of time rather than having huge peak of activities from time to time during the day. Okay, so if I summarize this step.
I say
Go
first
ahead, Fred.
impression. It sounds very, very intuitive and very user friendly to use it.
Yes, you don't have to guess what information to provide. Make.com basically make it clear what you need to do. So you see, in order to summarize, first step, the connection to your spreadsheet. Second step, which spreadsheet do I need to use? What sheet? And after, what data, what column specifically do I need to check? And, I don't even tell him, how many are going to be there. I'm just saying that there will be data here. And the limit after how many rows do I return every time to the next step. So I just click OK. My module has been configured here. And what I'm going to do is also to save. This is probably the most annoying thing on make.com is that it doesn't have autosave. So don't forget to save here. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to populate my spreadsheet right now. So I prepared 2 URLs for our testing today. So one is a Reuters article and one is a Wired article. Okay. And if I go there, I just going to say run this module only. And it basically return the output is my Reuters article and my Wired article. Okay, so that's done. So the first step of the automation is done.
Yeah, you can do a step-by-step automation process just to check is everything is okay.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than building the whole thing and after trying to find, where is the mistake, because there will be a mistake when there were another. Okay, let's add another model. So the second model is to pass this URL to a ChatGPT module and generate content based on the content of the article. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. So they have an OpenAI module, and what we do is to create a completion. Okay. In the background, I already created the OpenAI connection. The OpenAI connection will ask you for 2 information, your API key and your organization key. So I'm not going to show that, as I said earlier, in public, but I will provide a screenshot in the presentation where to find them. They are super easy to find, and you just click a button, copy and paste, super easy. So we want to create either a prompt completion or a chat completion. I'm going to choose a chat completion in our case, and I can choose the model I want to use. I'm going to use ChatGPT 4. And now, basically, I'm going to create the message. So what is the prompt I'm going to pass? So the role is the user, okay? So I am a user who send an information to ChatGPT, and the message content here, this is my prompt for today. Act as a professional social media ghostwriter. Based on the content of this article, please provide one, a 200 words summary, one informative tweet with relevant hashtags, mentions, and emojis, and a link to the original article. Three, a LinkedIn post with the same information. Four, give me the best time to post the tweet in GMT. And five, give me the best day and time to publish a LinkedIn post in GMT. Okay, so that's basically what I'm going to ask him to do for every single URL that I'm going to pass through the spreadsheet. So I go back to make.com. My message
And
here,
you, by the
I
way,
just,
you can make more complex prompt. There is no
oh yes, of course.
limit on that part.
This is a simple prompt uh, purely for the purpose of the demonstration. Uh, the purpose today is to do the automation, not the prompt. So
Absolutely.
I need to pass, of course, the information uh, from the previous module. Okay, so that's super easy. You click here, and you will have automatically this window that's going to appear. So these are the information from the previous module or modules, because as you build your automation, you will have more and more modules. But you can have also some general function. You have some math function, etc. So the ones that I use the most are date formatting. But what we are interested now is the content of the row from the previous module. So it's this one. So just select A. So we just select the content of the column A, and that's it for this step. So if I summarize, you do your connection to your Open API account. So super easy to do. API key, org ID key. You just do it one, by the way. You don't do it for every time you use the module after. You
So
select which.
configuration is just a one time you make the configuration and after it's okay.
Absolutely. You just after choose if you want a prompt completion or a chat completion. In our case, I choose a chat completion. For the role, you choose the model you want. Yeah. For the role, so you need to put user, and after you just basically enter your prompt and you select which variable from the previous steps, which informations need to be inserted here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. You have some advanced settings, as you can see, but basically they are not. You don't need to use them. Voilà. So my second module has been added. So what I can do is
And you can also test it step by step individually.
yeah. So if I run this module only, so it's going to ask me, okay, what data should I use for the test? So I'm going to pass him, for example, the Wired article, the link to the Wired article here. So it's kind of simulate, the action, but only with this information. So it takes a bit of time. So it's contacting ChatGPT, is sending ChatGPT the prompt, and is going to receive the output. This is where you're supposed to sing, Fred, no?
Yeah, I can,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure our audience will enjoy it. You know, I'm not. I have to confess, I'm not a great singer. I like to listen music, but I'm not a great singer.
That's right.
And by the way, maybe
I
you are a great singer.
um, let's have this discussion offline. Uh, so I did some tests earlier, and it was relatively slow. So it's not just right now. It seems to be a high demand. Okay, that's done. Let's see the results. So I just click here, and I need to go on So that will be message, outcome one, message content. So, you know,
So
after
this
you
is for the
practice a little
input.
bit,
You
this
have
is
to
for
go
the
to the
input.
output,
Thank you.
Cyril.
Absolutely. Yeah, I need to go for the output. Thank you very much. It will become more
Ah,
natural the more you do it. Okay, stops,
my
content.
pleasure. My
And here we are. So this is the output from ChatGPT. So my 200 word summary, which seems to be more than 200 words if I just by looking at it. My informative tweet with some emojis. He put me the wired mention. That's great. With some relevant hashtags also. That's great. My LinkedIn post. I didn't, explain to him, the length of the LinkedIn post extra, but that seems to be quite a good output that you can
seems
reuse
good.
almost as it is, with
Seems
with
good.
some variations. Absolutely. Best time to post the tweet 1 p.m. GMT, which is not stupid. It's I mean, like in GMT, usually the best time is between 1 to 8 GMT. So that's quite a decent answer. And the best time to
Yeah, makes sense.
publish the LinkedIn post, Tuesday at 10 a.m. GMT. Once again, Tuesday and Thursday are known as the best day to publish on LinkedIn. And 10 a.m. After the first meeting. Yeah, sounds right. So far, so good. We can see that basically we have something which is coherent in terms of testing. So let's add the last module now. So now that we have ChatGPT producing the content, we need to save the content somewhere. So in our case, we are going to just put this information in a Google document. So the same, I just add a module.
If you
I
want, you
search.
can post directly the output on Twitter or LinkedIn, or you have to send it to only to Google Docs and make a copy paste of your Google Docs into Twitter
Okay.
and LinkedIn.
From this step, I can automate the posting to LinkedIn at a specific time or no. Twitter for sure. LinkedIn, I haven't tried yet, but I know that Twitter you can do. But to post on Twitter, you need a premium account. You can't do this with a free account.
Okay, and by a paying account, you mean you need to be Twitter Blue
No, it's on
or to
make.com.
pay for the API?
Yeah, no, you need to pay make.com. It's one of the premium, what they call premium app.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's not much. It's like check the pricing, but it's not a lot. Okay, so once again, so Google Docs, so configuration super easy. You choose your connection, so it's the same as the one for the Google Sheets. You need again to select the document. So you choose by drop down by mapping. Document ID. No, sorry, my drive. It will be on my drive. Is that the Cyril Foxinertz? Yes, that's correct. Document ID. Here I choose the document. Apply is going to be in the WL009 tutorial folder and is going to be the WL009 document. So this document right now is empty. Okay, I created this document,
Yeah.
empty document. And what text I'm going to put, I'm just going to insert the previous outcome from ChatGPT. So this will be here, the outcome, and it will be in the choices, messages, content here. So that's the content I'm going to insert in the Google Doc document. I can choose to add a bit of formatting if I want. So for example, here I would like to add today's date. So it's going to be just a timestamp, okay? I also want to
Okay.
add the original link of the article in order to check. And this information will come from the Google Sheet document in the row A here. And when this is done, I just want like something to separate from the next document. Okay, so if I summarize this step again, we just connect our Google Doc from make.com to the document. 1, we select the connection. 2, we select the document. 3, we choose what we are going to add. So the timestamp, the link, and the output from ChatGPT. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Very
good.
clear.
Super. It's the first time you see the tutorial, Fred.
Absolutely. In fact, we sometimes when we work on what we want to show you on the Content Creator Weekly show, we just start with the ID. And for instance, if Cyril has to work on a tutorial and something like that, I want to discover like you in the audience, just to be able to ask the same questions than yours.
No,
It's very
exactly. I
important,
think that's
to be authentic and to really discover the thing in the
yeah,
live.
that's live feedback. That's really good. In case I miss something, that's really that's very useful for me. Okay, so I saved the scenario, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put. So I'm going to reset here my counter in the Google Sheet document. So I just right click or control click on Mac, and I'm going to choose where to start. And I'm going to say to the automation, you take into account all the lines, okay? You will see afterwards you are going to add more URLs in it, and it's going to incrementally, go to the next one, the next one. So now we are going to have all the rows taken into consideration. I have my 2 URLs in my URL file. I just click run once, and it's going to run the process, and we are going to see. I haven't tested the last step, so this is our live
Everything is live on the Content Creator Weekly show, and so this is again the time we have to sing. Maybe a famous song you want to.
Well, maybe you can remember how people can receive the presentation based on this tutorial.
Yeah, you're right, Cyril. So if you want to get this free automation first type guide, you just have to DM us, Cyril or I, on LinkedIn or on Twitter. And you just send us a message and say, oh, I'm interested to have the free automation first step guide. Leave us your email address, and we will be more than happy to send you very, very quickly.
Yes, so it's twitter.com/wearefoxynerds or twitter.com/CyrilCost. And on LinkedIn, it will be linkedin.com/company/foxynerds, or you can also DM me at linkedin.com/in/CyrilCost. Voilà. I hope we have provided all the information.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so it's a bit slow today on the on the ChatGPT API side.
We are more than interesting to have all your feedback about the show, about what we show you. So don't be shy. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, or LinkedIn. Subscribe to the channel. Comments. Leave us some comments. Leave us some feedback. It's always really interesting to exchange and interact with you and to have some of your feedbacks. So, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at We Are Foxy Nerds. On YouTube, it's YouTube @ We Are Foxy Nerds, and on LinkedIn, it's a little bit different. It's LinkedIn/company/Foxy Nerds.
Perfect, and it's done. So what you can see, above the Google Sheet module, you have one. So basically, there's been one operations to collect the 2 rows, the two URLs. There's been two calls to the OpenAI module because we had to do it twice because we had two URLs. And we did two operations with Google Docs because we had to insert twice the output from the OpenAI module. So let's see our document now. Oof, I'm quite happy that the content
It
is there
works.
and it works. Um, and we can see once again the 200 work document. So this is for a Reuters article about Siemens signing a deal about cybersecurity platform. Uh, so it's very readable, quite good. So once again, if you need to summarize large documentation, you can do it automatically without copy pasting, etc. Uh, the tweet probably needs to be a bit of rewrite, but I have some good hashtags here. I have the Siemens mentioned here, and he put me the link. So I will need to check if the link is the correct one. Always double check ChatGPT output.
Always.
Exciting news, yeah.
And
That seems
and
to be
or
also
never copy paste a tweet or LinkedIn articles. Read it,
or
make sure it
i-
sounds like you want, and you have to improve it every time.
or if you do it, just tell me because I want to look at that. uh, so once again, yeah, pretty decent LinkedIn post. Probably need to be a free write and fewer emojis, but looks good. Once again, the recommendation for time to post, perfect 1 to 3 GMT, Tuesday 10 to 11. Perfect recommendation. Uh, and this is a previous article also from Wired. So great job. I almost can use it as it is. Need to rewrite on the tweet. Too many emojis anyway. Uh, voilà. Now, very happy, super happy with the content.
Thank
Of course, this outcome will depend on your prompt here. Okay, so uh, we are all going to become master of the prompts in the coming years. So they will need to evolve over time, and the more you build great prompts, the more you will be able to automate great content generation. And that's it for today,
thank
Fred. I hope this is
Yeah,
what you
thanks
expected
a
to see
lot.
today.
Thanks a lot, Cyril, for this time. Thanks a lot for showing us how Make.com works. And one last question about Make.com and automation, like you show us. Uh, at the end, what is the limit of the automation you can do? You can add five, six, seven services working together thanks to Make.com. You can make very complex scenario.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you can. Here, you don't have really limit. Will be your budget. uh, so
This is a good one.
it, so each operation that we saw. So if I go back here, you see you have some you have some consumptions about credits here. You see 7 operations have been consumed, and in terms of volume is 22.4K. And you will have some limits depending on your plan. So, but you can always buy more operations extra. So, I think the free plan you have like 10,000 free operations per month. So it's like 300 per day. So if one summary is as we've seen today for 2 lines is 7, you can do this for where are my maths when I need them? 40 times 2, 80 articles per day for free, including Saturday and
It's it's
Sundays. Okay.
it's correct. It's more than
Uh,
correct.
Thank you. So here you can build all your automations, as many as you want, as complex as you want. After the limitation will be budget, but it's really not that expensive. And after, of course, you need to optimize operations in order to limit the consumptions of tokens, etc. But yeah. So we mentioned make.com. By the way, we don't get any any money from make.com.
Any
Uh,
affiliation? Nothing.
Okay, nothing. This was just used for to support the tutorial today. Maybe next time we'll use Zapier or another tool. What we just want to highlight is how easy you can automate your content creation with a good output. Uh, and if you need more details, if you need a deep dive, or if you're interested to explore some partnership, just contact myself or Fred, and we can see what you can do.
Absolutely. And don't forget to DM us on LinkedIn or Twitter with your mail address to have the free automation first step guide. Once again, thanks a lot, Cyril, for this complete first tutorial on make.com. I think a lot of people now are more than happy to test it. And we really hope you enjoy this video and learn something new. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting content. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye.